Hey, welcome back, everybody. Sarcasm Speaks. I'm Jared Bob. If you're watching on YouTube, it looks a little different today. That's because we are back in person for the first time in a very long time. Well, no, since episode 300.
What episode are we on?
It's probably like 318, somewhere around 318 to 320.
All right.
So it was a little bit ago. That night we just got hammered.
Yeah, I got kind of hammered.
The second, like the actual, so we did 299 and 300. I think 300 we were both cocked.
And we got the barbecue.
Yeah, oh, that's right. Yeah, it got delivered like mid-episode.
Yeah.
That was hilarious. I'm glad we remembered how to set this all up.
I know. It looks like the old place.
Yeah, a little bit.
It doesn't have the cabinet above the computer.
Oh, yeah, the old desk.
Yeah, I mean, we used to share the L of the L desk.
Yeah, I like it. It sets up like a nice conversational thing.
Yeah, it'd be better if I wasn't so close to you, but
I do like the couch setup, but the only thing is like there's no room for a couch in here.
I mean, if there was a will, you could get a couch.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably put a small couch like right there.
Definitely put a couch right on that wall.
Yeah. But then, well, yeah, you could put the camera like over here. I don't know, but hey.
Thinking too logically.
As we do interior decoration. Remember that? It sounds a little weird in my headphones, but I don't know. Hopefully everything's good. I think it's just soft. Like, I don't think I turned my headphones up high enough. I just did, and it's a little bit better. But, yeah. Yeah, it's better. I just don't know if it's like this microphone being so far away from me, or if I don't want to get too close because that's weird. I don't know. Hey, it's the first time
hot mic.
It's the first time we're setting this up in a while, so here we are. Deal with it.
Or don't.
Yeah, or don't. Whatever. Fuck you. What do we got going on?
What, in general?
Yeah.
Nothing good.
Nothing good. Australia's a shit
Please,
show.
hey, please listen more.
Yeah.
Please listen more to how nothing is good ever.
Yeah. How the whole world sucks and it's all going to shit. Here
End
we
of
are.
episode.
Yep, there it is. And cut.
And use Sarcasm Pod on grillyourass.com.
So Australia is apparently hell on earth right now. I mean, as if it wasn't already, right? It's like the whole running joke that everything in Australia wants to kill you, except for COVID, though, because COVID doesn't actually kill people.
Not anymore.
Yeah. So Australia has implemented like, you want to talk about like draconian
I'll say
lockdown?
almost martial law, right?
It is essentially martial law. They came out the other day and said, if you're unvaccinated, they went as far to say you cannot leave your house.
Yeah, that's borderline martial law.
You can't leave your house if you're unvaccinated to exercise, to walk your dog, to go pretty much anywhere. I don't know if they left a what is the word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
A loophole, or they left something.
An exemption?
Yeah, I don't know if they left an exemption to like go to work or
Go to the
grocery store.
Essential.
Yeah.
Whatever. Now, like, would they make you go and like jump in like a hamster wheel?
Yeah, I don't necessarily know what would happen. Let's see. This is from notthebee.com. So this is like, so you know the Babylon Bee? The Babylon Bee is kind of like the Onion. Not the Bee is real stories,
But sound like
they should be from the Babylon Bee.
Okay.
So Australia is now banning the unvaxxed from leaving home except for essentials. And hashtag Australia has fallen is trending. So apparently they can leave in certain circumstances, but they can't leave to exercise. Imagine that. You can't leave your house to exercise, to do the one thing that we know would actually help you if you got the virus. Even though the virus isn't really that bad anymore anyway.
Oh, can you say that?
Yeah, because I'm an irresponsible piece of shit.
Nah, it's just math.
Yeah.
Math. We have to. I think the liberals should cancel math because math is betraying them soon.
Yeah, well, I mean,
People
we
aren't
already
dying,
know.
people aren't going to the hospital.
We already know math is racist.
That is true. But now math is going to kill your grandma. So that's this is the beautiful thing. This is why, like, this is another one where obviously nothing makes sense and no one can think and nothing's consistent. It's all a joke. So if someone wants to go for a run, they can't go.
Yeah, what's gonna happen though? Are the cops really gonna stop everybody that's outside and be like, "Hey, I need to see your vaccine card"?
It can't be. It can't. There's no way.
Because
how do you police that?
That's the only way, in my mind, you'd be able to pull that off. Like, you have to stop everybody that's out.
Yeah, unless there's a registry of those who are unvaccinated and there's like surveillance.
Which is worse. That would be borderline worse.
Why? What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
What's wrong with them watching your every move?
Oh, I don't know.
I can't think of anything.
No, actually, we should probably just all submit to the overlords now. I feel like they made a couple
Lord
movies.
Pfizer and Lord Moderna.
They made a couple movies about that. I think one was called iRobot. The other one was called Eagle Eye. I think there was another one that fast forward a little bit. It was called The Matrix.
I was
That's
just
like further down the line.
So because I've had no Wi-Fi at the house, I actually watched The Matrix. Now, not in one sitting because obviously I fell asleep.
Original?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I own it, but I never watched it.
Okay.
Oh, no, sorry. I watched it when I was like 12 or 13. I didn't get it. I think I've talked about that.
Yeah.
So I actually watched it again. Fell asleep, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
So I had to go to Wikipedia to read. Really, what I was trying to do is read where I missed.
Yeah.
But, then you read too far and it's like, oh
shit, I know
fuck,
what
I
happens.
missed that part.
But I mean, you saw the movie before. So, and it came out in 1999. So are you really upset that you spoiled it for yourself?
No. I really just wanted to get through it.
Yeah. It's a good movie. I like the first one.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine.
It was groundbreaking at the time when you think about special effects.
I can see that.
Right? Like, no movie, because now, you watch Infinity War, Endgame, or the new you know what I mean? Like, there's the amount of special effects and CGI that we have that you can do is wild. But in 1999, this was like the first one.
I can see that increasing its appeal. I mean, it was fine. It was well done. Like,
yeah.
It's good.
The first one is good. The second one is okay. The third one is not good.
Yeah, I don't think I will be pursuing any other Matrix movies.
The fourth one is also not that good.
Yeah, I think I'm all set.
Yeah, if you've seen the first one, that's enough.
But I was going to say, it's like, I know, like, the idea in that one isn't that humans, like, gave into the machines. Like, the machines took over, but...
Yeah.
It's all dystopian, right, in a way.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's Australia.
Is Australia that good? Like, you always hear about people wanting to travel there.
I don't think so.
Do you know the flight situation to get to Australia for people from Boston?
It's absolutely miserable. You have to fly to California.
Yep, 6 hours.
Then you have to fly to, I would imagine, somewhere in the Pacific.
I think it's direct from there.
From California?
Yep.
Yeah, but that's got to still be like a 12-hour flight.
Yep, 15.
Yeah.
It's 21 hours of flying.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
What the fuck does Australia have?
You lose 2 days.
Besides kangaroos, what the fuck does Australia have that's so fucking important to go there?
Yeah. But...
Like, I understand, like, Sydney's, like, listen, and I'm not trying to say it's, like, it's not good, but what does it have that you can't get anywhere else?
Yeah.
Like, it's hot, generally.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, it's British Texas, so I just equate it to Texas.
You can only live on the coastline.
Yeah, and it's like, we have coastline.
Yeah. Like inland Australia is... borderline completely.
The Hunger Games.
It's uninhabitable.
Yeah. So what the fuck is so good, especially like even if you live in California, why the fuck would you fly 15 hours to go to fucking Australia?
Yeah, I don't know.
That can't be that good.
And like I said, you lose 2 days in travel, right? So it's because it's 21 hours of travel, which is a day. And then because of where they sit on like the international dateline timeline thing, they're so far ahead of us that you by spending 21 hours to get there, you actually lose a day. So you lose 2 days.
I just don't get what the appeal is. Like,
Yeah.
Again, I'm sure it's fine,
Yeah.
but I think I'm good. I think I'm good with Australia.
Yeah, same. I have no desire to go anywhere really outside of the United States. Like Canada, I'll go to Canada.
Canada's got nothing.
Like when I say desire, I mean like, oh, I have to get here. Like, I don't know, maybe Spain, Portugal, like that's cool. Italy would be cool, but it's not like it's like
The north or the south?
Yeah, the north. Stay away from the south.
South might suck.
Yeah, I think it does.
It might suck.
I think it does. But like,
See, now
You know what I mean?
the one
Like-
kicker for me is I think UK, Great Britain, Ireland, golf would be something to consider.
it would,
But I don't need to go, I don't
but
think.
is it any really that different than what you can get here?
It highly
Dude, you
depends.
can go to Truro.
So
It's the same thing.
Yeah. It really depends. So the other kicker with that location is it is only 6 hours. So if I was to say, oh,
Right.
well, Bandon Dunes offers something similar, well, Bandon Dunes is 6 hours away. And once you get off the plane, it's 2.5 hours from any airport.
Yeah.
And after you hit 45 minutes on that drive, there is nothing. Nothing.
Yeah.
So like when Pat went, the woman who was driving them said, they were like, oh, do you guys need to stop for anything? They were like, no, we just got off the plane. She goes, no, I understand, but there's nothing
Yeah.
from here to Bandon.
If you don't stop here, you're not getting anything.
There's nothing. So I would actually almost even argue going to Bandon Dunes would be more of an excursion than going to Ireland, because is an Ireland 6?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like Ireland 6.
Yeah, gotta be like 5, 6.
5, 6, whatever. And I do think that actual literal geography makes the golf different.
Yeah.
So
No, that's legit.
I think you could make the argument. So like when I shit all over Australia, Sydney itself has features. That's fine, but those are the features of that specific city. Gotcha. But like it's coastline. You go to the beach. Are you fucking serious? Like you're gonna tell me that you fucking flew 21 hours to listen to fucking British Texans and go to the beach
Whoa.
and drink fucking Fosters?
Okay. I'm looking at flights from Boston to Ireland. The first
What, the
one
cost?
The first one that popped up was 23 hours and 55 minutes. But
Is that like a 18-hour layover?
that's obviously a nonstop.
Wait, did you say Ireland or Australia?
Ireland.
18 hours?
23 hours and 55 minutes. You said 18-hour layover.
But you just said nonstop.
No, I said it's obviously not nonstop.
Oh. I was gonna say, like, maybe if you fly to fucking Africa first.
Yeah, I don't know. This is being dumb. Nonstop Boston to what's a place? Dublin.
Yeah, that's a place.
That's a place. I'm a place. Just tell me how long it is. It says 6 hours and 5 minutes.
Okay, so there we go. 6 hours. It's the same to fly to fucking LA.
Yeah.
So therefore, the burden becomes a lot less when you talk Ireland.
Yes. Yeah. If you're going just for golf, you might as well just go to Ireland.
Yeah,
I mean,
like,
is it
like,
worth?
But you're not going to go to Ireland for the food.
No. You go for like the beer and the booze. They got plenty of that. They're good.
Yeah, their beer. They're
good at that.
I think their beer is in fact different.
Yeah. Oh, dude, the beer's different in Ireland.
It's like snow in the Midwest.
Yeah. Oh, no, you haven't had a real Guinness unless you go to the factory.
Okay, so the rumor from people who have actually been there.
Here we go again with the fucking gumbo.
Here we go with the Guinness.
Yo, you got to have a Guinness right from the factory. It tastes totally different than it does over here.
Allegedly,
Yeah.
the deal with Guinness is it is a different product that gets sent here. Now, what I believe to be the old wives' tale, because and the reason I say that is someone here drinks Guinness, they go over there and they just say it's like heavier, darker, there is more taste to it. Mm-hmm. So then some guy goes, "Oh yeah, well, we just send the bottom of the barrel to you Americans."
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know if I'm necessarily buying that.
Yeah, no.
Like, so our Guinness is the Keystone Ice to their Coors, like, because that used to be the rumor with Keystone.
Right.
Oh, it's just the bottom of the Coors barrel. Probably not, man. It's probably a different fucking beer.
It's probably, they probably use, like, the hops are probably from the same area, but they're just the shit ones. You know what I mean? Like,
they're not as good.
The hops that look retarded. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to pick through flowers, because this is what it is. Hops is a flower.
Or it's like
you pick like the good flowers, that becomes the Coors, and then the flowers that are fucked up, that becomes Keystone.
Yeah, it's like when you go apple picking. Like, there's a shitload of apples on the ground, and they're probably mostly fine.
Yeah. That's
but
what
no
you
one
use
takes
to
them
make
home.
Keystone.
Yeah.
So, it's crazy. I don't even know how we got there. Because then I was going to talk about Australia again with the Djokovic thing. You've seen that, right? People fucking...
Yeah, they won't let him in, right?
Yeah, well, he's there. So he flew in. So for people that don't know, I'll get you up to speed. Novak Djokovic, obviously, if you don't know who that is, get out from underneath your rock. He's like one of, if not the best tennis player like ever.
I was say, if you don't know Novak Djokovic, how do you still listen after some of the golf I've breaking down?
Yeah. He went to Australia for the Australian Open tournament, and he's unvaccinated. So, returned about 13 minutes ago when we started this episode talking about how Australia was insane.
I believe he holds, and I don't know the details, I do not know them. He does hold some type of medical exemption.
He does. But because he is unvaccinated, they decided to not allow him to compete in the Australian Open. And not only just not compete in the Australian Open, but they also are holding him, they are detained him in a holding cell of some sort because he is unvaccinated and refuses to do so. And I might be making this part up, but he might be, might have to go on trial? No, okay, all right, let me see. I got this right here. The world's top tennis player, Novak Djokovic, was granted a medical exemption from COVID-19 requirements by Australian state government and tennis officials ahead of the Australian Open. However, federal officials canceled his visa because he failed to provide appropriate evidence to enter the nation, which requires proof of vaccination for travelers older than 12 years old. So there seems to be some fuckery going on someone's side, maybe both sides. He has a medical exemption. He was granted the medical exemption by the Australian government and tennis officials. However, okay, I get it. It says by Australian state government. So he was given the exemption by this Australian state government. I don't know what state they're in Australia. I didn't even know Australia had states, but I thought they just had territories like Canada.
Provinces.
Yeah. So they had state government and tennis officials gave him the thing. However, federal officials canceled his visa. Okay. Because he failed to provide appropriate evidence, which seems like fucking stupid to me. Like he was given an exemption. Like what more does he have to show? But then it says, when Djokovic arrived in Melbourne on Wednesday, he was questioned at the airport.
Melbourne.
And then held at a quarantine hotel overnight. So he was essentially detained. He appealed the ruling on Thursday morning and will be allowed to remain in the country until at least Monday. So we have until this episode comes out. When this comes out, we'll know what happened. Djokovic has not officially stated whether he is vaccinated against COVID-19, but said April 2020 that he is opposed to vaccination. Well, I mean, I think that gives you your answer right there. He also has a medical exemption, so let's connect the dots here. So people are flipping out because of this, right? So now that I've read that, I kind of slightly changed my stance, but at the same time, like, I'm still going to stick to my original stance, which is this. You know, everyone knows Australia is a fucking hellhole right now. And it's a fucking borderline authoritarian state because of COVID. You know you're not vaccinated. I know you were...
you oppose it too.
Yes. And I know you were given a medical exemption, but why? Like, why do you want to go here?
Yeah, that's my thing. Why bother?
Why bother?
And it's like, I understand the money. It is a lot of money.
It is.
But if you actually care that much, you should have known it was going to be a fucking issue.
Yeah. Or you could have easily used this as like if he's come out publicly and said that he's opposed to vaccinations, all right, man, like, come out and say, like, because of how I feel about, you know, vaccine mandates and how things are being treated in the country of Australia, I'm not going to this because I don't want to partake in anything that has to do with supporting the country of Australia. Boom, done, signed, sealed, delivered. There you go. There's your way around it. But instead, he tried to show up, and now he's fucking detained, and he's going to get kicked out.
Yeah, trying to play both sides.
And it's like, I don't know, because obviously you have like a bunch of people that are like, whoa, this is wrong. You let him play. And it's like, well, and I mean, if you're listening to the show, you know very well how I feel about all this too. But regardless, like, you know the state of things, right? So, like, did you really think it was going to be something different? Just don't go.
Yeah. Again, and if that's where you stand, you actually would make more of a difference by, quote unquote, boycotting the event.
Right. And then I don't like the people getting mad that he got kicked out because, again, those are the rules, right? Like,
yeah,
I'm unvaccinated. I could not expect to go to Australia. Not that, again, we talked about I have no desire to ever go there. But if I did, I know right now I ain't getting in.
Yeah, it'd be a problem.
So I'm not going. You know, like, it's... I don't know. It may be because there's a lot of people that are like, because I'm seeing, you know, the pro-vaccine people are like, oh, here we go. This is perfect. A celebrity thinking that, you know, the rules don't apply to them. And then obviously the comments to that on Twitter is like, oh, how's Nancy Pelosi and Gavin Newsom feel about what you just said? You know what I mean? Like, oh, ask your boy Gavin about how French Laundry was. Because it's... the people, and I've come to love this Twitter account called Defiant L's. I've sent you and Jones them a couple times on Twitter. It's this guy who goes on Twitter and finds people's old tweets that contradict something that they tweet now. And it's hilarious because I would say 90% of it is all like leftist, like liberal people. There are some conservatives on there, but they predominantly do go after. Well, I mean, I say go after, but I think the liberals we've talked about and leftists are the ones that make themselves look fucking stupid. There's one right here that I sent you guys yesterday from someone called Young Daddy, who I don't even know who that is. From December 28th, 2021, so not that long ago. Young Daddy tweeted, "If you think closing the southern border is truly part of a serious COVID strategy, then you need to stop watching Fox and stop consuming all that anti-immigrant propaganda and go get vaccinated." So fast forward to 1/7/22. Djokovic actually does not have a right to enter a country that he's not a citizen of. Nothing requires Australia to let him in. Like you don't see you don't see that? You don't see the difference between what you just said there? Which this one I would argue is even worse, right? Because this one is from 12/28/21, which is 2 weeks ago. And now it's 1-17. Like some of the tweets that this guy pulls up is like, the first tweets from like 2017. And then the second tweets from like yesterday. You know what I mean? Like some of them are pretty spaced apart. So this is a great one too. He has the official tweet from Joe Biden from 10/29/19. So this was before the election, right? This was when he was still campaigning. And he tweeted, "Paying off your kid's student loan debt can feel overwhelming. We need a president who understands that." And then fast forward to 12/13/21, Biden won't extend student loan relief. It's like, it's that. It's a great follow on Twitter. It's called Defiant L's. L like the letter. So it's DEFIANTLS. Defiant L's. Pretty good follow over there. They give me some good laughs throughout the day. So, yeah, Australia sucks. And like I said, you shouldn't be surprised. Like what? I don't know. I just don't. I don't know why people like to just get upset about anything at this point, really. So, what else we got going on?
In general?
Yeah.
Nothing.
All right. Cut, wrap, there we go. Here's a good one. Recently, as I think this was last week, let me see if I can find the article really quickly. Here. CNN put out here we go. Can I find it? CNN put out a article last week, January 3rd. People who are overweight or obese are at a much higher risk of much more severe disease and even death from COVID-19. One new study suggests that losing weight can reduce that risk.
Nah, dude.
Breaking news.
No.
No one's talked about this. It hasn't been said once over the last 2 years.
Well, it hasn't. Not from a politician, which is the only place where we can get medical and now health and wellness advice.
Right. Sorry, silly me.
And it's not like being healthy helps your immune system. That doesn't.
Oh yeah, no. That'd be your overall.
It's just shots and pills.
Your overall health has nothing to do with your immune system.
Nope. It's all about shots and pills.
Yep.
Yeah, and like being fat, like if you want to like do that, like that's cool. Like you can't fat shame anyone. So,
yeah,
all that shit where like being fat increases your risk for being unhealthy and dying. I don't think you can say that anymore.
Yeah, well, no, that's fat shaming.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
It's bad.
Yeah, that hurts people's feelings.
Yeah. Can't do that.
You can't hurt people's feelings. It doesn't matter that, it could save their life.
It doesn't matter that it's actually factual.
No. Hey, we don't talk about facts, right?
That's true. We're not a fact-based show.
Yeah, no. But like 2 years we've been doing this. Now all of a sudden CNN comes out and says, hey, breaking news. If you're fat, you have a higher chance of dying from COVID.
Well, we are again,
but everyone knew that.
But we already knew that when the comorbidity stuff came out,
but all
those comorbidities were fucking associated with being fat.
So I think the funny thing about this, though, is that the entire time this has been going on, who has been saying that?
Fitness people,
people like Joe Rogan, Brett Weinstein, Ben Shapiro. Eric Weinstein. I'll even throw Tim Dillon in there. He's hilarious. He's a comedian. But everybody has been talking about this. Anyone with half a brain has been talking about this. And then what's the response? Oh, you're fat shaming. Like, what? You shouldn't have to. Like, we know, like, we and everyone else that has half a fucking brain understands if you're obese, your risk of diabetes goes through the fucking roof. Your risk of any sort of cardiac disease,
high blood pressure.
Yeah, like pick one. You know, high blood pressure, stroke, heart attack, like any cardiovascular disease.
What
goes through
percent
the
of the population would you say has half a brain?
Ooh, I don't know. See, this is different because
it's not just idiots.
98.9% of all people are idiots. You could still be an idiot
and have half a brain.
But you could also be like, I don't know. That's not a lot of people.
Because I was gonna say, remember that documentary that came out, and I don't know what it was called, but it was about like food, whatever. And the guy opens it up. I watched fucking 6 minutes of it because the guy was like, "Well, I didn't know hot dogs were bad for me. Like, growing up, we had hot dogs, whatever." And it's like, motherfucker, like,
yeah.
I forget. I don't even remember what it was called. It was the fucking worst.
It's not What the Health, was it?
Oh, it might have been.
I never watched that. I refused to watch it.
I got 6 fucking minutes into it.
Yeah.
And the guy opened up with talking about how hot dogs were bad for you and how he didn't know that. And I was waiting for the punchline.
Yeah.
I was waiting for where the joke came in.
Yeah. I didn't know hot dogs were bad for you. Really? You thought they were a health food? Where did they fall in the food pyramid? You know, the thing that everyone learned, well, now it's the My Plate, or now it's something else too, I think. I think they went back to a pyramid. They ditched the plate and went to back to the pyramid, but I think now the pyramid is like vertical slivers instead of like how it was when we were kids.
Doesn't sound like a pyramid.
But like, well, no, it's still a pyramid, but they slice it like a pie.
That's stupid.
Versus like stacking it like bricks. But like, yeah, what food group was hot dogs in? Where do they fall? Like, I don't remember seeing the pictures of them on any of the food pyramids or My Plates.
It was insane. It was he was opening up with like this thing that's supposed to like, you know, I don't know if it was pro-vegan. I really don't remember what it was.
No, the movie was anti-meat. It was trying to get people to become vegetarian, vegan, whatever.
Yeah.
Plant-based.
And then it's like, I didn't know hot dogs were bad for me. Well, guess what, man? You're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
That's all that is you're a fucking dumb fuck.
Yeah.
If you didn't know hot dogs were bad for you.
You know what's interesting?
That's like people, it's like, I never knew McDonald's would make me sick.
Yeah. Yeah.
I never knew a large Diet Coke. Dude, there are people, and I've heard this before, but there are people around the country that will drink large Cokes from McDonald's for breakfast.
Oh, yeah.
That is disgusting.
Yeah.
That is fucking embarrassing.
Yeah, we call those people pre-diabetic.
Southerners.
Yeah, pre-diabetic or diabetic.
That should be a fucking crime. Selling large Cokes from fucking McDonald's before 11 a.m.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it'll never happen because Coke has the fucking government by the balls.
Yep.
And big sugar.
Big sugar.
Seriously though, that's a real thing. The sugar. So back in the 70s? It's either the 70s or the 80s. Remember when? Well, no, because we wouldn't
actually,
remember because we weren't born. But the whole push in the health and wellness world in I think it was the 70s, was that fat was bad for you, right? If you eat a lot of fat, you're gonna die. Do you know who funded all those studies? Like, you can go back and look. It's public record. Like, it's Mars. It was fucking Nestle.
Yeah,
it was
food companies.
It was Big Sugar. Like, literally, like Mars, really. The company that makes Twix and M&Ms and all, like, every single fucking candy ever.
Mars bars.
They funded the study that came out and said, well, if you eat a lot of fat, you're going to die. So you should eat a high carbohydrate diet. And then what happened starting from the 70s and 80s until, through the 2000s? Diabetes went through the roof. Cardiovascular disease went through the roof. And what happened? Everyone was like, oh, no, you can't eat fat. Still, to this day.
Yeah, fat makes you fat.
There are people that really believe that fat makes you fat. Well, if you eat fat, you're just going to clog your arteries.
Can't eat eggs.
The fat's going to clog your arteries. Yo, you're right. Because the fat that you eat immediately goes into the stomach.
Only in your arteries.
And just jumps right into your arteries.
Yep.
It doesn't get processed by the stomach. It doesn't get broken down in the small intestine.
Doesn't get used for energy.
It doesn't get broken down into triglycerides.
Doesn't oxidize.
Nope. It just immediately, the fat that you see in that steak, that white fucking fat piece, immediately just appears in your arteries as soon as you eat it. Yep, that's how it works.
Yep.
Yeah. You eat fat, you're gonna get fat. Oh, it's gonna
same with
clog your
cholesterol.
arteries.
You eat cholesterol.
Oh yeah,
you get cholesterol.
Oh yeah, if you consume a lot of cholesterol, your cholesterol is gonna be high. No, that's actually false too. So yeah, these people are fucking stupid. But so I should have now. I say I should have. I shouldn't have because I'm not that smart. But it's really someone should have seen this whole thing coming. This whole COVID thing, because this really, now that I think of it, isn't the first time that something like this has happened, right? It's just never happened at this large of a scale. So when you just talked about what the health, I immediately thought of all the people that I used to work with. And people like that watch one documentary on Netflix and then immediately believe 100% of everything the documentary says and then completely change their life based off of that. And it's like, no, you watched one thing. And then like they would come to me, right? Because they knew that I had a background in fitness. And they would be like, yo, Mello, what do you think about this? Like, what do you think? And my response was, I think it's dumb. And they're like, no, you can't say that. And they would start like referencing things they talked about in the movie. And I'm like, did you read any of those studies? And they're like, no, but they talked about it in the movie. And I'm like, well, why don't you go read those studies first?
Why would they read
and then
the
come
studies?
back to me? And then they always turn around and go, well, did you read them? I go, no. And I'm not going to sit here and say that it's good because I haven't read them. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things where, and I said this when I posted on my Instagram about the Peter McCullough episode on Joe Rogan. And then we had Chris on and we talked about it a little bit. I'm not one to believe 100% of anything anybody says or anything that's given to me.
I generally like to believe 0% of what someone tells me.
Right. And you're supposed to be able to like parse through the facts and like come to your own conclusion, right? So that was the whole thing, like I talked about with the McCullough stuff. Some of his stuff was a little too conspiratorial for me, and some of it was like whatever. And also, you have to realize that no one has ever been 100% correct with anything they've ever done or said. So if you watch this one Netflix documentary that is trying to get you to go plant-based, obviously they're going to just talk about the studies that show meat is bad, right? Well, I could turn around, and this was the discussion that I had with people at work at the time, was I could turn around and show you just as many studies that say meat is good. So which one is right and which one is wrong? And they would be like, well, I don't know because I haven't seen those ones. And I'm like, well, you haven't seen these studies either. You just know what someone talked about them in a documentary.
Yeah.
So
you want to start a documentary?
We should, really.
Do we know anyone that really knows how to do video? Probably not, right?
The closest one is probably Finn. Didn't he take like film study in college or something?
Dude, he was a communications major.
Yeah, but I
feel
know
why
like
he started as a communications major? Because he didn't want to tell everyone he was undeclared going in. He just wanted to be able to answer, I'm a communications major. And then he never switched out of it.
That's hilarious.
So, Finn, if you're listening, sorry, you're not a video editor.
You also have to do clean sweeps still. I'm waiting for it.
Yeah, do queen sweeps.
Yeah, queen sleeps.
Queen sleeps. Do queen sleeps first. No, I'm just like, it would be awesome just to do a documentary where we just kind of like refute all the bullshit.
Yeah. Or, who's the guy? Who did Spinal Tap?
I don't know, but I kind of want to watch it.
Because Rob Reiner. Because he's done other stuff similar to that, like as a director. He's great. He's done...
but isn't Rob like shit? They made fun of him on South Park. They fucking killed him too.
So he's done
Being a fat fuck.
Oh wow, he did Stand By Me, When Harry Met Sally. Holy shit. He did A Few Good Men, and he also made Spinal Tap. The same guy
can't handle the truth.
The same guy that directed A Few Good Men also directed Spinal Tap. That's wild.
It's fun. So obviously, because we have no internet, I brought the Blu-ray player up, and it's like sitting on the ottoman, like because there's nothing else to like, dude. Like everything we have is supposed to run off the internet.
Yeah.
And I like flipping through my DVDs. I saw Spinal Tap. I'm like, dude, it's been a while since I watched Spinal Tap.
So that was actually the first movie he had ever directed.
This is Spinal Tap?
Yeah, This is Spinal Tap was his first movie ever. And then he did a movie called The Sure Thing, which I've never heard of. And then his third movie was Stand By Me. So like Stand By Me is a pretty legit movie, at least in like social canon. But then like, so this is the opening of his career. He did This is Spinal Tap, The Sure Thing, Stand By Me, The Princess Bride, When Harry Met Sally, Misery, which I don't know, A Few Good Men. And then there was like a bunch of other movies that I've never heard of before.
Decent start.
Yeah. That's wild. So Rob Reiner, there we go. We're going to create our own version of This is Spinal Tap.
Mockumentary.
Yeah. So what? So that's talk about tangents on tangents. We should have been able to see something like this coming, right? Because on a smaller scale, like I said, we saw it with things like What the Health and things like the news comes out and says, oh, eggs are bad for you. So people stop buying eggs. And then 13, 14, 15 months later, well, eggs are good for you. People start buying eggs again. You know what I mean? It's like we should have been able to see that the potential, at least, for something crazy like this was there. And then you get something like COVID, right? Where it's like, oh, well, this is going to kill your grandma. And everyone's like, oh my God, this kills grandmas. Like this kills. This stuff kills. And then you got other people that are like, wait. So you got the people that are like, oh, I have to go plant-based now because I watched What the Health. Those are the same type of people that are like, dude, this is the worst pandemic the world has ever seen. It's like, really? Like, because it's not even as bad as the Spanish flu. It's not bad. It's not nearly as bad as the bubonic plague. Like, I just named 2 pandemics that were worse off the top of my head. You know, like,
and depending on how you define worse,
right?
Like, if we ever get airborne Ebola, we're all fucked.
Oh yeah. Well, that's a new thing now. That I literally just saw this before we got on. They found a new variant, and they're calling it Deltacron. And I'm like, here we go. So we have. So now we're not doing the Greek alphabet anymore, right? I just imagine. I like to play. I have a pretty active imagination, so I like to play out the scenarios when stuff like this happens, like in my head of like a bunch of people sitting around like a conference table, right? As if there really is like a cabal that runs the world, and they're like, "Hey." Like Dickhead 1 goes like, hey, people like really aren't caring about COVID anymore. Like we need to do something to get them like scared again so we can keep control. And someone's like, well, yeah, I mean, we got to Omicron and like it spread like crazy, but it's not killing people. So like people don't really care. They're like, oh, well, which one was bad? Well, Delta was pretty bad. Like people seem to be really afraid of Delta. So then they're like, all right, so what do we do with our next variant? Like, I don't know what's next of Omicron. Let's say Mu, like, or Mu is the next letter in the...
Mewtwo?
No, Mu already happened. Let me find the Greek alphabet. It really doesn't matter, but I just want to...
I just like the idea that it's you can definitely tell, like...
Upsilon? Is that next?
Someone in the staff meeting was like, oh, well, we got to name this fucking...
Pi. So it goes Omicron Pi. Omicron Pi Rho Sigma. Though that's the next 4 letters in the Greek alphabet, in case anyone was wondering. So there's people...
Pi R squared?
People sitting around the table, right? Being like, oh, so the next variant, we're going to call it Pi, right? And someone goes, no. Let's call it... Deltacron. Because it spreads like Omicron and it kills like Delta.
Although nothing kills like the OG.
Well, yeah, no, the alpha variant was theoretically the most deadly.
It's like in Jurassic World where it's like the Indominus Rex showed up, like that was Delta.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what would be the
T-Rex would be the alpha.
Yeah. And then the T-Rex fucked up the Indominus.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, listen, I was fucking here first.
Yeah.
Or the OG is the whale thing.
Oh yeah, yeah. The
Because
dinosaur,
ain't nothing killing that.
the dinosaur whale. Yeah.
Yeah, ain't nothing killing that.
Whale shark.
Yeah, I don't know what that,
Prehistoric whale shark.
like that. Like that's the OG. Like you ain't not beating that.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like whatever happened to OG COVID.
Yeah, no one talks about
that one. Like that one actually killed people for a while. Now there's been reasons considering why.
Right.
Like mistreatment by medical professionals and politicians, but
we've also talked about it on this show as two idiots that sit, as you can see, on a table. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to hammer the like button, and subscribe. But us two idiots sitting at this table have talked about before, like, this is how viruses work, right? They start out very deadly. And then over time, they evolve and mutate to become less deadly, but more spreadable.
the only problem is nothing's been deadly since
The original.
end of May, June 2020.
Yeah.
And people have admitted that they didn't know how to handle it at first, so it killed a bunch of people.
Right.
Like throwing people on ventilators right away killed them all.
Yeah.
So that's on the medical professionals and the fucking governors.
Right. So I don't know. It's one of these things where the like I said, the the Deltacron is coming. So we're taking we're calling them like Transformers.
Does it have tree
now,
frog
too.
DNA in it?
Yeah. Well, it's got a little bit of Wong's DNA too. No, what was his name? And his real name is BD Wong. I forget what his name was in the movie.
I don't remember.
But it's got a little bit of his DNA too. Deltacron. It's coming for you. But like, it's just a fucking joke, right?
Everything's a joke.
Because
I'm
this
a
is,
fucking joke.
and this is the people, to circle back again, these are the people that watch What the Health and go, oh, I have to go plant. I got to go plant-based now. Meat's bad for you.
Yeah.
Meat's going to give you cancer.
Yeah, that Beyond Burger is so good for you.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing that's created in a lab.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's really good for you.
Yeah. And it's like the people that look at it and are like, well, I don't know, like maybe some of it could be true and some of it's not true. And don't forget that like monocrop agriculture is actually really bad for the environment. Because that's the other thing too, is like these plant-based people try and tell you that eating beef is bad for the environment because cows fart. So cows fart methane, and the methane gas is what fucks up the environment.
Yep.
And it's like,
The cows were here before us.
yes. And then, so I don't know if you've ever seen the graph, but they show graphs of like, I think it's just total pollution output, and like, and it lists them all in a row. Number one, the most polluting thing in the entire world is cargo ships.
Okay. I was going to say,
Cargo ships cause the most pollution, or more pollution than any other one thing in the entire world, and it's not even close. Like if you Google,
they probably pollute the water and the air.
probably yeah. But like also the amount of fuel that it takes. Like
Yep,
cargo
huge.
ships are fucking huge.
Remember that fucking bastard in Savannah?
Yeah, holy shit.
Thing never stopped.
No, it was like a train. It's like watching
Yeah,
a
but
train.
it's like the fucking freight train in Charlotte that just ran for like 24 hours.
It was a never-ending train. It's like a never-ending ship. So cargo ships are the number one. I think cow farts are like 17th on the list.
What about human farts? What do humans fart? Ozone repair?
Yeah, it's like literally cow farts are like 17th on the list. And that's what people are going after, right? They're like, well, if you eat beef, you're supporting,
Cow farts. You're pro cow fart.
You're supporting the destruction of the environment. Oh, really? Because if I support the 17th thing on the list that causes pollutants, that's what I'm supporting.
How do you think the crops get here?
Yes. How do you think the bananas get here in the wintertime? Guess what? I just bought a bushel bundle? Sack?
A battery?
A battery? I just bought a battery of bananas this morning at Market Basket.
Gang of bananas.
For anyone wondering, it is January 8th. There's about, 8 inches of snow on the ground in North Attleboro, Massachusetts. They ain't growing no bananas around here.
Dude, I don't think bananas would even grow in Massachusetts.
Those bananas probably came from fucking South America.
Even in peak summer, I don't think bananas would grow. Have you ever seen a banana tree?
Nope.
Actually, the beautiful thing about Massachusetts, most people haven't seen most trees.
True. Yeah.
Apple, everyone has seen an apple tree.
Yep.
We got those.
Yeah,
we got those
plenty
figured
of those.
out.
Oh, dude, you got to go apple picking. Oh, what do you mean?
You go.
You got to go apple picking in October. You fucking
apples are out of season.
No one wants to go apple picking in August when apples are in season in August. No one wants to go.
No, it's always after.
Oh no, why would I want to go apple picking in August? It's too hot. Well, I don't know, maybe because that's when they become ripe. Like that's when they're ready to pick. Like have you ever gone to an apple orchard like the week after Labor Day?
Everything's on the fucking ground.
Everything's on the fucking ground. That's the Coors Light. I'm sorry, it's the Keystone Light.
Keystone.
Like you have the Keystone Light of apples that are left. Like get fucked, dude.
It's so bad.
But yeah, no, the bananas that I just bought this morning, where do you think they came from? Probably South America.
Georgia.
You know what I mean? Like
either way,
how do you think they got here from South America? On a fucking cargo ship.
How about this? Even take Massachusetts. All the produce you can buy.
I feel like Biden. I just whispered into the microphone.
All the produce you can buy. How much of it is grown here?
Yeah. True.
So, therefore,
at a big box grocery store. I'm applying gym terms to grocery stores, like a big box gym, like a big box grocery store. But like if you go to like a small farmer's market or like a local
it's probably
shop,
grown on that farm.
It's probably grown locally. But like if you go to a Market Basket, Shaw's, Stop and Shop, like they're not using local grown stuff. They're using whatever's the cheapest.
Yeah. And
they have margins to make.
even if it comes from the US, how does it get to fucking Boston?
Yeah.
Probably by ship.
Yep.
Or by truck.
Yeah. By truck, plane.
Probably not a plane, but
yeah.
Probably truck or ship.
Yep.
But yeah, you're right. Watch out for those cow farts.
Yeah. Yeah, the cow, if you eat meat, you're destroying the environment. Yeah. It has nothing to do with the massive amount of fucking soy that's being grown in this country that's literally destroying the earth, right? Like the literal dirt. Like that's the whole thing about like monocrop agriculture. Is if you just grow, we learned this in middle school, I think, about like rotating crops. Remember, like on a farm, like you have to rotate crops. Like I remember learning this in school.
I remember a test question being like, what was like one issue during the Revolutionary War, and it was the ground was frozen and you couldn't grow crops.
Yeah, like we literally learned this in middle school. You have to rotate crops, but now because they get subsidies from the government, there's these massive farms that just grow one crop in one area over and over and over again, and it literally sucks all the nutrients out of the ground, right? Because each different type of plant or crop takes different things from the soil, right? So the thought process being like you rotate your crops around the farm because like you grow corn in, quadrant 1 and soy in quadrant 2 and maybe cotton in 3, and then you leave 4 open. And then it's like, all right, well, the next year you just kind of like shift it. So now cotton moves to 1 and corn moves to 2, and then soy moves to 4, and then 2 becomes open. Like that's how you save the soil. But people don't do that now because there's a massive demand for crops, like soy and corn and all this shit all the time, that they don't do that anymore.
Corn's a vegetable, dude.
And it's fucking literally sucking all the nutrients, and the dirt, like the soil is
sucking it dry.
Is dead. So, but yeah.
Cow farts
are bad for the environment. My favorite thing that Rogan talks about all the time too is this really upsets people, like the people that are vegan because of animal reasons. Which I give those people actually
that's the
credit.
only like
those are the only
reason.
people that get credit from me, if it's because you don't like the way the animals are treated and killed and slaughtered, all the power to you. Like, go for it. But like, if you're just out here being like, oh, well, I watched What the Health, so you're a moron. But what Rogan brings up all the time, again, makes vegans really upset, is the amount of animals. It's like small, what are they called? Underlings? Small ground animals. I forget what they are. Rodents, maybe?
Vermin.
But like rabbits and rats and chipmunks and squirrels, like those small ground animals. Do you know how many of them get chewed up by that big fucking harvester, like that runs through the field? Like, where do you think rabbits and chipmunks and all them like live? In the fucking fields of all the crops, right? So when they come through with this giant fucking crop harvesting machine, they kill a fuck ton of rabbits and chipmunks and all that shit. They literally get ground up in the fucking harvester. And like, that's a fact.
So with your plants, you're eating animals anyway. That's what you're getting.
Yeah. But like so it's like the people that say they only eat plants because they don't want to contribute to animal death. It's like, well,
there's nothing you can do.
Unless you know that you went to the farm. Like if you went to Flint Farm and like picked the corn from the farm yourself, like cool. Now you know that like animals weren't killed when they were doing that. But like, there's a solid chance that like the act of harvesting crops is going to kill animals. So you're also dumb.
There's nothing. That's the thing. There's nothing you can do. Anytime you think you can do something, you can't do anything.
No.
Give up.
Yeah. Well, unless it's just to get vaccinated. Like, just shut up and just get the shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, just don't complain about it. Just go get it.
Yeah, just shut up.
Yeah, like if you want to do anything, like you have to just get it.
Yep.
So other than that, though, like you're good. Things are gonna get dicey when we get closer to Bill's wedding.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that Boston changes tune. I don't know though.
Yeah.
Because I can't get it.
Correct.
Even if I wanted,
who was I talking
Even if
to?
I wanted to get it, I couldn't get it because
I was talking to Mike at the gym.
Yeah.
The guy that's always there at 12:30.
Yeah. Our Mike or a different Mike?
Different.
The
Mike.
guy that I talked to about the Fit Factory stuff?
No, that's Mark.
Oh, okay.
All guys I train at the gym are white guys with one syllable first names.
Mark, Tom, or
Paul,
Mike.
Steve.
Yeah.
Jim,
you
Jake.
You got the apostles.
Dude, it's like Marty's 2 syllables.
Yeah. There you go.
It's fucking nuts.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, they're all fucking, it's so funny. Paul, Mark, Tom. Wait, Fred?
And then there's 7 fucking Chris's.
We used to specialize in training Toms.
Yeah.
That was a thing. Then there was a lot of Daves that were involved with our
Yeah.
network.
Yep.
But I was talking to him. And I'm like, oh yeah, the Boston thing. I'm like, yeah. So we got a wedding, and not that he was probably gonna get it. Even if he wanted to, it's not enough time.
Yep.
And then everyone's like, well, it's 3 weeks ago. Yeah. And 2 weeks after.
Yep.
5 weeks, 3 weeks. 5 is more than 3.
Correct.
In most maths,
Yep.
5 is more than 3.
Yeah.
So even if he wanted to, even if he wanted to do Bill a solid and just said, fuck it, I'll sit on the eggplant for you, Bill.
Yeah.
Can't.
Yep. So
We'll see. So
We'll see.
So this is what I'm doing. I'm curious because, and I know we're kind of getting into it. They still say like a picture on your phone is okay, and I'm like, what could go wrong there?
yeah. Oh my God. Really?
Yeah.
That's all it takes?
I mean,
the
other thing I'm curious about, and not that I'm like grilling Bill, because he probably will listen to this at some point, and like I don't actually care. Like, don't text me with the answer. I don't give a fuck. Like, please don't.
But also at the same time, I recognize too, as do you and most normal people, like it's not Bill's rule.
No, it's not. So Bill, don't answer me here. But
Yeah.
I wonder, in a world where no one can get anyone to work, are these wedding venues now going to have a bouncer at the front door?
Yeah.
200 people,
Right.
or however many hundred people,
Yeah. Who's going to be checking?
and then because at the TD Garden, They have to give a license and the card, and they just look to see that names match up. Mm-hmm. So someone's going to do that at the venue? You can't get anyone to work.
Yeah.
So not only can you not get anyone to work anyway, now you need to hire a new position of vaccine bouncer?
Yeah.
And who's paying for that? Like, did they just get added?
Bill and Lauren.
Like, did they just get a police detail added to their wedding bill?
Yeah.
Because the venue ain't doing it for free. Is the city of Boston paying for it? Someone's got to pay for it.
Yeah, that's true.
Dude, chance it.
Yeah, might as well. I could do the old, like what kids used to do at prom. Like when you go to the line to get through the line in prom, they used to breathalyze like random kids, and they would like kids would try and like so obviously kids would drink before prom, but to try and avoid the breathalyzer, they would try and like shift the line or like walk, but let like 3 people go in front of them. Like they're trying to like play it and beat it. I could just do that, like with the like go up to get in the line to get into the wedding venue, and then see who's checking, and if they actually are checking, just kind of like back up a little bit.
Or it's like I go in and it's like, oh, I drop my card. Or it's like, start fumbling with it. Quick, run behind me.
Yeah. Because like literally.
Or it's like Green Street Hooligans where it's like everyone just rolls up, like hoods on, whatever, and just run into the venue.
If it's, or I just get there early and go through a different door and say I'm there for not the wedding.
Yeah.
And then just kind of show up at the wedding. You know what I mean? Like, but if it's
like,
literally
you're attending
just,
the wedding, no, I'm working.
If it's just a picture of it, like, dude, like I could literally print a copy out, fill it out, take a picture of it. Like you can't tell in a picture whether it feels like paper or whether it feels like cardboard.
Shit.
You know what I mean?
Where am I going
Like-
to find this now? I saw it on Twitter earlier. How long have we been recording?
1 hour and 1 minute.
So I need to go an hour ago? Because before we started.
Oh, it was on.
Yeah,
on Twitter?
it's like
Instagram,
Twitter. Just some picture like, you know, like, oh, you need to have your card or a digital picture of your card. I'm like, that's so bad.
That's really stupid.
Like, if you care, like, that's my thing is either care or don't. But
Right.
if you actually care, oh, right there. Notice, City of Boston, notice, vaccination required. Starting January 15th, 2022, visitors must have proof of COVID-19 vaccination to enter this business. This verification can be done with a CDC vaccination card, a digital image of your CDC card, an image of any official immunization record, a City of Boston app, or any other COVID vaccine verification app. Digital image of your CDC card.
Yeah. So a picture of it.
Well, that's the thing is like when I got the first shot, the J&J shot, like the guy that went before me was asking the woman, he goes, oh, so I got to go get this laminated. Like this is a big deal. Like if this thing gets fucked up. She's like, no, you can't get it laminated. He's like, why? I need to make sure it's protected. Like everywhere's going to be checking for whatever. She's like, no, you can't do that. You can't get it laminated. You got to keep it like that.
Yeah.
He goes, this thing is going to get destroyed. Oh, just take a picture of it. He goes, a picture of it?
Yeah.
He goes, just take a picture. That's it? He goes, how is that okay?
Heathen, you're not allowed to ask questions.
Like, she's like, no, like most places are okay if it's just a picture. He's like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. It doesn't. It really doesn't.
Yeah.
It's fucking ridiculous. It's insane. It's literally like we are living.
You want to Photoshop this thing?
I mean, I could. I'm pretty good at Photoshop. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, dude, want a business card? Oh, dude, I gotta get business cards for my business. Yeah, I don't even have a fucking product yet.
Hopefully it's in there.
Yeah. Oh, dude, just take a picture of it. You're fine. It doesn't matter.
I didn't take a picture of it.
There you go. You're fucked. You're fucked. You got to go get another shot.
Just more shots.
Yeah, just get more shots.
I gotta
That's
get
it.
the Tankleton HIV shot.
Yeah. Like, now they're coming out and saying you got to get the 4th shot. Now that's made its way over here.
4 shots, 5 shots, 6 shots.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. Oh, I talked to Mitch the other day on the phone for like a half hour. That was pretty good. He told me about like a situation he was going through at work, like a coworker of his, like a peer, not like a boss or like someone who was a peer, told him that he needed to go get the vaccine in the next 3 days or he was probably going to get fired. And he was like, excuse me? Like, you're my coworker. Like, you're not my boss. You're not my superior. Like, we're on the same level. Like, you're telling me that I need to go get a booster shot.
You're just a dickhead.
And like, he explained to me too, he did the whole thing. Like, I don't give a fuck about all this. And he goes, I was in the military. Like, they pumped so many fucking things into me at one point. Like, it doesn't matter. He goes, I don't give a shit.
And none of it's any good.
He goes, I don't give a shit about that.
None of it makes you into a super soldier or anything.
No. But like, the whole point is like, don't tell me I need this to work. Like, I talked to Derek this morning too, friend of the show.
Sup, Derek?
And he said the same thing. He was like, yeah, dude, there's a solid chance I might get fired next week because I am not vaccinated. He's had it twice. He's had COVID twice. And his job is like, yeah, you need to have the shot or you're going to get fired. And he's like, yeah, but I have like natural immunity times 2.
Oh, you can't use natural immunity doesn't matter.
Yeah, so that's what I told him. I quit my job because of something similar. So it's like, fuck me, man. Like people, I don't know, common sense has been gone for a long time, but now it's just becoming, I try and avoid using like, hyperbole, but it's getting kind of dangerous, right?
Yeah, it's kind of feeling that way.
It's approaching dangerous.
Yeah.
When you can start to tell people that they're not allowed to have a job.
Yeah, that's tough.
That's dangerous. Like you're approaching, again, like I'm not trying to be like fucking Alex Jones fucking crazy over here, but be legitimate. Like if you're going to take someone's livelihood, their job, their income away from them because they didn't get a shot of something that like really doesn't matter because people don't really die from it. Like, I don't know. If we had, and this is the thing too, right? Like it's like, does the punishment match the crime, right? Like that's the whole thing, like the whole, the Eighth Amendment about cruel and unusual punishment. The whole reason that even became a thing was like, does the punishment match the crime, right? So does the fact that like people don't die from this match, you have to get this shot or lose your job? No. Now, like you had mentioned earlier, if we got airborne Ebola, I would be the first person in line to get that fucking vaccine. Like, I don't want to get Ebola and like die by bleeding out of my fucking eyeballs. Like, I don't want to bleed out of every orifice in my body.
Dysentery and hemophilia.
Yeah, like I'm all set. I will get the fucking vaccine for airborne Ebola. Like, I'm good. Sign me up. But like something that I had, and when I had it, it was like a sinus infection. At worst, it was a sinus infection. I don't need to get a shot for that.
Shut up. Yes, you do.
Like, I don't like, it's just weird to me, man. Like if they came out with a vaccine for heart disease, right? Cardiovascular disease. If they're like, again, we throw the term vaccine around very loosely in 2022 now anyway.
Well, they changed the definition.
Well, yeah. So like if they created some sort of quote vaccine for heart disease, I'd go get it. Like I'd at least think about it. Like I'd look more into it and I'd read about what it actually does and learn some stuff. But like that's a legit thing. And right, I have legit family history in regards to heart disease. And like heart disease actually kills people. I think it's the number 2 killer of people in the country behind cancer. I think cancer's...
Oh, it's that and cancer. They're like neck and neck.
Cancer's number 1 and heart disease is number 2. Well, let's use cancer then, right? Like if there was a vaccine that you could get that would prevent you from getting cancer, yeah, man, let's go. I'll get it. Like cancer fucking sucks, dude. Cancer legitimately kills people. Like,
yeah, and
COVID doesn't kill people.
Cancer treatment sucks too.
Yeah, right. There's
Chemo's awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
It's awesome.
People really love it.
Yeah, you feel really good when you're on chemo.
Yeah, that's the one thing I hear about people that get cancer. The thing they look forward to the most is their treatment. You know what I mean? Like, if it's like a legit thing, like, yeah, like, and like I said, does the crime match the punishment? Like, if there was, I don't know, if for whatever reason, like if there was airborne fucking cardiovascular disease and you got to get this vaccine. All right, cool. I'll go get it. Like, I don't want cardiovascular disease and I don't want to give it to anybody else. It sucks, right? Like I said, like I have a extensive family history regarding cardiovascular disease. Like, sure, yeah, I'll go get the fucking thing. But like, and then if you want to be like, well, if you don't get this vaccine to prevent CVD, like, well, you can't work. Okay, all right. Like, that's still a little too much for me, but I can at least follow the bouncing ball and the logic there. I cannot follow the logic on this one at all. Like I said, it's dangerous, in my opinion.
That's just 'cause you're a bigoted Trumper.
He's gonna win in 2024, isn't he?
No, he's not. I don't think they're gonna prop him up.
Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be real interesting. So here's the thing, right? Not that I know. Here I am about to pontificate as if I know something. I'm not an insider at all. I'm not even an outsider. I'm not even allowed on the property.
Nobody.
I'm not even allowed on the fucking property. But like, I would assume like the GOP is going to wait to see how the 2022 midterms go, because if it is in fact a bloodbath, like everybody is predicting, and like it's just this massive wave of Republicans overtaking every election, I think in 2024 you could run anybody but Sarah Palin and win. You know what I mean? Like, the Republicans could put just about anybody out there and win. Like, they could probably win maybe with Mitt Romney. You know what I mean? Like, because the 2022 midterms are going to show people's feelings on what they want, right? And you kind of project that ahead of time. And like I said, if it is indeed an absolute bloodbath, then yeah, like you could run anybody. But if it's not as bad as people are projecting, like if, I don't know how many midterms, how many elections are up, but let's use even numbers here. Let's say it's 100, right? Let's say there's 100 seats up for election or re-election in November. If like 70 of them go Republican, I think you're good. Like, I think you could run, like I said, anybody but Sarah Palin and probably win in 2024. But if like 55 of them go Republican, I think they might consider running Trump out there.
Well, here's the problem, in my opinion, is anyone that's on an extreme right or left will vote that way no matter what.
Correct. Right? Yeah.
Anyone that's like maybe open to going the other way on the left will not vote for Trump.
That's fair. Yeah.
Because of the person.
Right.
There are also people on the right that will either not vote or they will go independent because they don't like Trump, the person.
Right.
But if you put a real candidate out there, no problem.
Yeah.
So that's why I think the Republican Party will try to stay away from Trump.
Yeah.
Because the person is too polarizing.
Yeah. But then you have to wonder, what is he going to do then at that point? Like if the GOP goes to him and goes, hey, Don, like we're going to run with DeSantis and Nikki Haley. Like that's going to be our ticket, right? What's to stop him from being like, all right, well, fuck you guys. I'm going to run as an independent then. And then that would really fuck things up. You know, because you run the risk of that too.
It could. I think people are afraid to vote independent.
Yeah, but the people that love Trump will vote for him, regardless of what the fucking letter next to his name says.
Now, there's also a lot of people that love Trump but also don't want a liberal president again after what's happening right now.
Right. Yeah.
There will be a lot of people that will be like diehard Trump people, but will still vote Republican Party, recognizing that they can't vote Trump because he won't win, but they don't want to vote Democrat.
Yeah.
Because it's just math at this point.
Yeah.
But it comes down to the state, really, is the big thing.
Right. Yeah, like Massachusetts doesn't matter. Massachusetts,
No,
New
it's
York,
like
California, Texas,
Jersey.
Florida. Well, Florida actually does matter, I guess. I think that's more.
Yeah, so if they roll DeSantis, good fucking luck.
Well, yeah, if they do roll DeSantis, then they don't have to worry about Florida.
Right.
You know, that's an automatic. Like that purple state is automatic. It's going red. You know, they love DeSantis in Florida.
Yep.
So I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I've been hearing more rumors that people have been floating out Michelle Obama's name
To run as a Democrat?
Yeah, because the Democratic Party is so fucked that they don't have, like, there's legitimate thought, like, among the Democratic Party that, like, Biden doesn't live to 2024 to run again. And they can't run Harris because
No, she won't win.
She's the most hated fucking person in the country right now.
Yeah, she won't win.
Like, I think people hate Kamala Harris more than they hate Dick Cheney, which says something right there. Like, that's a fucking problem. So who do you do? Like, who do you run out there? Do you put,
so this is the thing is-
Pete Buttigieg, Bukaki Judge?
People don't like him either.
People don't like him, but they'll run him out there because they'll say he's gay, right? They run, like, at this point, like, they're running on identity.
Features.
They run on features and identity, right? Versus policy. That's their whole thing.
Like black woman,
Right.
gay male.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's their whole thing at this point.
That will bury them.
Yeah.
At some point.
Yeah. Well, they need to run Elizabeth Warren because she's 624th Cherokee Indian.
It's gonna be great too. Like once, I don't know who's gonna win the next one, and I don't know if it'll be that like this coming one or the one after. Eventually, we're gonna get back to like regular politics where all of them are the fucking same.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that is Biden. Biden is a regular politician.
Yeah. But he's like in a time where things are weird.
Yeah. 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 Like he is cut from the same cloth as Bush, Clinton,
All of them.
Reagan, all of them, really.
They're all the same.
Obama, even I'll throw that in there because people are like, it's funny now because we're finally far enough away from Obama's presidency where people are starting to look back and be like, what did he really do?
Nothing, which is beautiful.
Other than give us Obamacare,
Which
which is just a fucking mess.
which Massachusetts basically has anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's good though.
But
It's cheap.
yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I want to get, truthfully, and I don't know if we'll ever get back to this, but I want to get to the point where like people don't care about politics anymore.
I don't know if it's ever going to change.
I don't think it is. That's what I mean. I don't think we're ever going to get back to that. But
It's too bad.
it is. I mean, the only good thing that has come from people paying more attention to politics is that there's been a little bit more exposure on like the bullshit that goes on, right? Like the whole Nancy Pelosi and insider trading and all kinds of shit like that. Like when people pay attention more, then you can get away with less. And like the whole Gavin Newsom thing and Cuomo. Like when there's more eyeballs on you, like they're, you know what I mean? Which is I've heard rumors is a real problem and is a real scary thing for DeSantis if he does run, because
What are they going to find?
if they haven't said anything already, what are they going to find? Like because people on the left they've hated DeSantis through this whole COVID thing, right? Because he's been up there, he's been saying shit like he's like Trump light, where like I mean he's like he's like a Keystone Light.
He's the apples on the ground.
Yeah. He's like he's not quite as bombastic, but he's not afraid to say what he thinks, right? Like he's not going to tweet mean things, but he's just going to be like, well, that's dumb, kind of. And they've been trying to get after him for everything. For everything. They've been trying to tear him down for 2 years. You're going to tell me that over the last of 2 years, they haven't been able to find any dirt on this guy. I mean, now, I'm not saying that he's clean either, because he is a politician. Let's remember that. He's probably got some bullshit somewhere. But, like, they haven't found it.
Yeah.
And they've been looking. They've definitely been looking.
It must make them so mad that they can't find
And
anything.
they've tried with other people, right? The Matt Gaetz, who's a Republican congressman, was under fire for a little while because they said that he had a relationship with a 17-year-old at one point, and the FBI came and raided his house and went through this whole thing. And then obviously, right, the news reports it. Oh, Matt Gaetz, piece of shit, relationship with a 17-year-old, whatever, yada, yada. FBI comes in, does the raid. There's been no charges. There hasn't been any charges filed. So, like, did he actually do it? Like, so they've been going after other people, right? That's my point. Is they do go after people, and they do find stuff on people, and they're trying everything they fucking can, but they haven't done anything to DeSantis yet. So
we'll see.
Like Ted Cruz, remember he went on vacation, which was kind of a bad look. He went on vacation to Mexico, like right in the middle of COVID.
Yep.
They fucking shredded him for it. You know what I mean? Like they'll rip anybody for everything. They even brought up the rumor that his dad is the one that fucking killed Kennedy. Like, that's a real thing too. People think that Ted Cruz's dad is the one, like the physical person that pulled the trigger that killed Kennedy.
It's awesome.
George Bush Sr. is the one that orchestrated it, but Ted Cruz's dad is the guy that pulled the trigger. It's like, okay, cool.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I'm sure exactly. That's exactly how it happened. But like, it's, I don't know. I guess I'll pay attention begrudgingly. If nothing else, just so I can bitch about it on this show. So, you want to start wrapping this up?
We can wrap this up.
We're at that time.
I got fit for a putter last week.
Ooh.
So, as you guys may know, I like golf.
Oh, really?
On record.
Did you know what I've been doing the other day? Sorry to interrupt you there, but I've been watching Damon Marbury.
I have no idea who that is.
Adam Marbury. I don't know. I've been watching a bunch of YouTube videos.
Oh, good.
On like how to correct swings and do stuff like that.
Oh, shit.
I got bit by the golf bug like bad.
Fuck.
I want to golf really bad.
You're fucked.
But like I said earlier, there's 8 inches of snow on the ground.
You're
so
fucking fucked. Actually, there's a place in
obviously I want to golf when it's fucking snow.
Is it? Wait. What Rhode Island town is right over the border? Cumberland. Fuck, maybe it's in Cranston. Shit. See, I think there's an indoor place, but if it's in Cranston, that doesn't do anything for you because that's too far away.
The place down the street has heated bays.
Yeah, but even like a simulator just to go hit.
Yeah. No, I think the closest simulator is probably iGolf.
There's probably something.
There's one in Johnston, Rhode Island.
Yeah.
Which I think is more expensive than iGolf.
We'll have to get over to iGolf one day.
Yeah. I got plenty of free time.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I just remembered that you could meet me over there at like 10 on a Wednesday.
Yes.
Oh, when are we gonna get over there?
Yeah, I don't know. Whenever you want.
Anytime. I work next door.
Yeah.
YouTube though, good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I went for a putter fitting.
Yep.
It's the only club in my bag that I've never been fit for. So they make you like they want like the intake thing, and it's like, what are you looking for? It's like save shots, whatever. And I'm like, no. I go, I don't know what the fuck. Length, style, head, toe hang, like there's like only so many variables that can change. So like the length of the putter is one, the head shape and style is another. Mm-hmm. That's like a pretty big one.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's the hosel, like the way the hosel is changes how much the putter hangs. So like if we hung the putter on the end of a table,
right,
the toe of the putter has to go somewhere. Whether it's straight up, that's called a face balance putter, slight toe hang, or the toe hangs all the way down. That would be like a full toe hang. So last year, between putting on a ruler, using some aid that James had, and putting a ball that's like half black and white, the best putter that I could use for those things was the putter I used last year. It's a full toe hang, it's a blade. But that's the only putter fitting I've ever done. So I'm like, I got to go get a putter fitting. I didn't like the way I putted last year, especially in away rounds. So I go for the putter fitting, and they have Sam Putt Lab, which is just a launch monitor for putters. So he puts the little sensor thing on the putter, and I bury all 7 putts with my putter. He goes, oh, okay, cool. So that was pretty good. I go, yeah, can I just keep the sensor thing and just get to it? So the little thing gives you recommendations. First recommendation is the style. And it recommends I get a mallet. I've never hit a mallet before. I've always had blades.
Yeah.
Good start.
I just switched to a mallet at the end of last season.
Then second is the hosel. And it says I should have a face balanced. Or really it said 30 degrees of hang to face balanced is what I should have. I'm playing a full toe hang. So again, complete opposite.
Good. Yeah.
I've never had a face balanced putter. And then the last 2 things is like Loft and Lie. So like those 2 things are adjustments. You can do that with any putter.
Right.
So he actually took my putter and adjusted to those specs. Or did he? He might have. I don't know. But either way, all the putters I tried were adjusted to those specs. And then so like I'm trying the different putters with like 30 degrees of toe hang, no toe hang, like, you know, a fang putter, a mallet, whatever. And you know, so I'm rolling putts, and, you know, in the middle I go through a lull where I can't hit anything. So I'm like, great, here we are. Like, give myself a second, whatever. And so I went to Club Champion, and the one thing with Club Champion I know, especially with their clubs, is they have a reputation for selling you into very, very expensive things, and like things that you may not need. So like you may roll in there going for an iron fitting, and they may try to sell you into a set of expensive irons with upgraded shafts and like a $25 per club fee for puring or whatever.
Yeah.
So then it's like a set of irons that might cost you like $1,000. Now they want $2,500 for.
Yeah.
So it's like, I know that going in.
Right.
I know they have a reputation for that. Now, I did my homework with the guy I went to. I got someone to vouch for him. I had it. Oh yeah. Let him know I'm coming. Let him know I'm friendly with you, whatever. Like all that.
Right.
So at the end of the fitting, I'm putting. And we're left with 2 options. One's the TaylorMade Spider, the mallet. The other's a Scotty Cameron. What's the one thing about Scotty Camerons that without knowing what I was putting, what do you know about Scotty Camerons?
They're very, very expensive.
Sure fucking are.
Yep.
So now, because I hold the TPI certification for Golf Fitness, Titleist Performance Institute, I get a discount on Titleist. So I reach out to the guy at Titleist to see what my discount would be, because truthfully, both putters seem exactly the same. I maybe like the look of the Cameron a little bit better, but I really didn't like the look of any of them because they're mallets. And I told the guy, I like looking at blades, but I want what's going to fucking put the ball in the hole.
Right.
I go, don't give me a blade that's going to miss putts. Like, I already have that.
I got one of those.
So I reach out to the Cameron guy, and it ends up being like $70 more than the TaylorMade. And I'm like, that's like just close enough. Plus, I'm flush with cash for my lottery winnings. I'm like, fuck, that's like almost close enough. So I'm on the Titleist website, and I'm trying to figure out, like, do I want to do it with the Scotty? And then I see what the adjustments that they'll make is. And Scotty Cameron and Titleist won't adjust the club to what I need. So the normal lie angle, which if you're actually into this, what I'm talking about, the lie angle is the angle from the shaft to the top line of the putter. So whatever that angle is your lie.
Right.
Stock is 70, mine is ideal is 73. Well, they only go plus or minus 2. Like, all right, well, that's a degree. That's not great.
Right.
Loft, which is the angle of the face of the putter.
Yep.
Stock is 3 degrees.
Yep.
I should have 1.5. They only go up or down 1. So I'm like, okay. So I can order a putter for $70 more and not get it to the specs that I need.
Right.
Or I order it through them, pay a little bit less for whatever. It's a TaylorMade. It's still a good putter.
Right.
It's still new.
Right.
And then I'm thinking, because the guy did say, he goes, oh, if you do get the camera, let us know, bring it in, we'll adjust it for you. Well, the problem is if they fuck that up, I'm out of Cameron.
Right.
If they fuck up the TaylorMade that they ordered,
Yeah.
they figure it out.
Right. Right.
So ultimately I went with the TaylorMade, but it's interesting because I thought like a putter fitting was going to be like this crazy like thing. And it's like when they have the Sam Putt Lab, the algorithm just tells you everything you need to know.
Wow, that's interesting.
So you could, like, if you're interested and you like do the fitting, it's like the length of time for him to calibrate the machine and put the sensor on your putter and roll 7 putts is all the time it takes to do the fitting. After that, you're just rolling putts and what feels better. And
Right.
you know, and then you like look at it. It's like, oh well, so anything with any toe hang was causing me to pull. So I'm like, all right, well, get rid of all the toe hang putters.
Right.
Get away from me.
Right.
And like there was one. It's like I hit one putt like way left, way right, and I hated the look of it. I put it right back in the bag.
So with that, that's like the toe hang stuff. Is that like when the end of the putter goes like that, or if it's just a straight pull? Because I googled toe hang, like I'm looking at pictures
so
of stuff.
the best way I can describe toe hang is take a putter, put it on a desk so that only the head of the putter can hang off the desk.
Yeah.
And then you'll see what it does. Now, theoretically, you could also just take it and hold it out like with your hands, which is what I usually do because I've seen toe hang. But like if you took it right now, and if you're on YouTube, you can see where I'm pointing. Like if you put the shaft of the putter here with the grip, and then just let the head hang off the end, you'll figure out the toe hang, and then you just estimate does that look like 30, 45, 60, 0.
So a face balanced
Is 0 toe hang.
would have the little,
It would be parallel to the surface of this table.
right. But I'm saying like, so would it look like that one?
Nope, because that would toe hang.
Okay. So it would be more like that,
More
one,
like
like
that.
the straight shaft.
It's got a single.
the-
It's a single bend.
Yeah. Because you know, like the end of the shaft on a putter either has like the single bend, the double, the triple, or it's
Plumber's
just
neck.
or it's just a straight fucking line.
Yeah, it all depends.
Okay.
Because it's got to match up with the head of the putter too.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Because that's the thing is like with the Spider has 3 different hosels, so you can get some toe hang with it. Mine will have none.
Yeah. Yeah, I've just been looking at like YouTube, Google images of like toe hang putters and trying to figure this out as you've been talking.
But yeah, it's the first time I've had a putter fitting, and I was fit for the exact opposite of everything I've ever used.
Awesome.
Pretty good, right?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I gotta try that. Maybe we can. You don't have to do it. I can do it. I can put my putter on the table and see what it is. But I'm curious to see what my putters are because I have 2 now.
Well, the Cleveland is going to be about 30 to 45. I assure you.
Yeah.
Because it's the Answer 2 style or the Scotty Cameron Newport 2 style with the offset.
Yeah.
I think it's a plumber's neck.
It is. Yeah.
So, well, I think that's what it's called.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No, like that one will hang about 35 plus or minus.
Yeah. Give or take.
Yeah. But the Ardmore that you have, which is the TaylorMade Fang, I don't know how that'll hang because it depends on the hosel that's in it.
Right. Right. It's worth. I'll check it out.
It only takes a second.
Yeah.
With a club to the basement.
Yeah. All right. So my final thought is something that hits a little close to home. I saw this in an email, right? So I've talked before. I subscribe to the Roca newsletter. So I get like a daily email with like all the news headlines and all that. This is one that came from an email I got the other day, and it was record quits in November in the United States. So the numbers aren't out yet for December, but they just came out for November. A record 4.5 million Americans quit their jobs in November, equal to 3% of all workers. The highest quit rates are among low-income workers, particularly at small employers who are having to compete with larger ones offering better compensation. In total, there are 10.6 million job openings and 6.9 million unemployed people seeking work, meaning there are 2 possible workers for every 3 open jobs. Despite the hot labor market, just 61.8% of working-age Americans are actually working or trying to, below 63.4% level 2 years ago. So they took 2021 out of it, but 2020 pre-pandemic in November, it was 63.4% of working-age Americans were actually working, and now it's 61.8%. So people don't want to work, as to what you had said earlier. About the vaccine boosters. I mean, the bouncers. The bouncers. There are 10.6 million job openings and 6.9 million unemployed people. And the important distinction here is to be unemployed, the way they get that number means that you have to be eligible, and 2, actually collecting unemployment. So me personally, I am indeed unemployed, but I do not qualify for unemployment benefits. So I am not a part of that statistic of the 6.9 million unemployed people, because I'm not receiving unemployment benefits.
Yep.
So this is the thing, right? This has been the thing as throughout, the whole pandemic. When you're on unemployment, they give you a maximum, right? I forget what it is. It might be 40 weeks or something like that, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
At one point during the pandemic, everyone, or the Biden administration was like, unemployment numbers are way down. Look how low the unemployment numbers are. But this might have been around like August, and it's like, dude, we've been in the pandemic for, at that point, it was a year and a half. Like, if unemployment benefits only last 40 weeks, even if they beefed it up to 52, like you get a full year, we're now a year and a half later. So all of those people that were collecting unemployment for all that time, their benefits probably ran out.
Yep.
So what happens when your benefits run out, you no longer count towards that number. So when people say, oh, the unemployment is so low right now, no. The people receiving unemployment benefits is low.
Yep.
The people that are unemployed is higher than 6.9 million. Right? And I don't know, I'm not an economist. Like, I don't know what the percentage is. So say, let's round it to 7, right? Because it's 6.9. There's 7 million unemployed people. There might really be 9 million unemployed people. You know what I mean? But it's just 2 million of them don't receive unemployment benefits. Yep. So they don't count towards that number. So it's like, I don't know, the whole thing is fucked. Like, people try and it's statistics, right?
Right. You can make numbers do whatever you want.
You can make numbers do whatever you want, depending on the lens that you look at them with. But I thought it was interesting that they're calling this time, obviously it's a fucking coined term, but they're calling it the Great Resignation. The last like 6 months, because it's been like people were alluding to and then also implementing vaccine mandates and things like that.
Yep.
So people are just quitting their jobs. They're like, fuck this. Or like a lot of people that work that like don't make a lot of money, like work at like a Walmart or a Dunkin' Donuts or something like that. They're like, fuck this. Why would I make $14 an hour to get some old lady bitch at me for making her caramel macchiato the wrong way?
Yeah.
Like that bitch in the fucking airport that we saw.
Oh, that was awful.
That was terrible. Like,
I saw that the other day too.
You know what I mean? Like, so people are quitting. So there's one thing, right? That the highest number of people ever quit their jobs in the month of November. And the amount of job openings is still super high, which means that the people that are quitting aren't getting new jobs, right?
Yeah.
So like, what the fuck are we doing? So I have a theory. And now, to be fair,
Do I need a tinfoil hat for this?
no,
Okay.
it's not a conspiracy theory. I have a theory that this is potentially going to open the door for automated work. So what's going to happen when we'll just stick with Dunkin' Donuts because it's local, everyone knows it, whatever, it's fine. What is going to happen to Dunkin' Donuts, right? When they can't find workers to pay 14 or 15, if minimum wage does in fact raise to $15 an hour, you're going to get paid $15 an hour.
It's $14.25 in Massachusetts.
Right. I know, but it goes to 15 in next year. But say let's use round numbers, right? So Dunks is going to pay someone $15 an hour to make coffee and get yelled at by old white ladies that suck. People are going to be like, I don't want to fucking do that. Yeah. We're seeing it right now. There's record number of people quitting, and the amount of job openings has not gone down proportionate
right.
to the people that have quit. In fact, it's gone up.
Yeah.
So people don't want to work, right? They don't want to work shitty jobs anymore. So how, as a company, right, as a business, you're faced with a problem. What do you do to solve the problem? Now, I'm not saying that Dunkin' Donuts is going to do this. Again, I'm not an insider. I'm not an outsider. I'm not even on the property. But I think some businesses are going to start looking at this, and to solve the problem, they're going to turn to automation, like robots. Like, why don't we just have automated? We already have AI. We have artificial intelligence. We have artificial intelligence that's really fucking good. Ask Elon Musk how good the artificial intelligence is we have right now, because a Tesla will literally drive itself. I saw a video on Instagram. Someone put a dog in their Tesla and like set the destination, and then just fucking the car just drove. A car drove itself with no one in it other than a dog to wherever it was going. Like the computing power, the artificial like the shit that's out there is fucking unreal. So what's going to happen? I don't know. I think some businesses are going to shift to automated work, right? Like Amazon. Why would Amazon pay workers? Because eventually wages are going to go up and up and up and up, right?
Yep.
So why would you theoretically pay someone $18, $19, $20 an hour to box up packages and ship them when you could spend money on robots to do that for you? And then you don't have to pay them.
Yep.
You know, so I think this is the beginning, right? And it might take a year or 2 or 3, but I think this is going to be the start, right? So 15 years from now, when we have an automated workforce, I think people will look back to this time and be like, that's when it started. It's when all those people quit their jobs because they worked, you know, I don't want to call them menial, but they worked shitty jobs, we'll say, for not a lot of money. And no one wanted to do those anymore. So businesses started replacing them with robots. And then eventually that goes to scale. And like I said, 15 years from now, you know, there's no more humans that work at Dunkin' Donuts.
I also wouldn't be surprised to see a gap between, or a bigger gap. So like, I'm just thinking about the gym, and I know I'll never be able to pay anyone to work there. But theoretically, if we made more money, I could have high school kids coach my groups.
Yeah.
I could. If I fucking manage the fuck out of them.
Right.
Which would be the whole point. Again, you're not managing if you just delegate and don't oversee.
Right.
But if you just manage the fuck out of them, I could have anybody coach my groups. It really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So you could start to see that too.
Right.
Where it's like, you don't need that middle person at the grocery store that, you know, has been there a long time and doesn't need to be supervised. It's like, yeah, fuck it. I'll just pay the high school kid and supervise them.
Right.
Just do it more actively.
Right. Right. Because the other thing too, in a service industry, like a Dunk, Starbucks, McDonald's, Wendy's, all those places, robots are going to be way more accurate and efficient, right? Like you set like it's all automated. So when you go and ask someone to make you a caramel macchiato, they don't half listen to you and hand you a caramel latte. You know what I mean? Like that doesn't happen because the robot knows, okay, caramel macchiato, I do X, Y, Z. Now here's your macchiato. You know what I mean? Like the fuck ups are going to be way less. It's going to be way more efficient to run those with robots, right? When you ask for a bacon double cheeseburger with no pickles, the fucking guy that's still hammered from the night before forgets to not give you, like forgets to take the pickles off, and you get your fucking burger and there's pickles on it. You know what I mean? Like you eliminate all of that by having an automated workforce.
That's also fine, but so Shaw's in Easton just put in like 8 self checkout things. Mm-hmm. I've never seen lines in that store ever until those went in.
Yeah.
Because people don't know how to use them.
Right.
And now most machines are fine, and what the examples you gave are correct. But there's also little things like a sandwich from the deli is supposed to weigh this much. You scan it, you put it on the scale, it weighs a little bit less, doesn't read it.
Yeah.
So it's like little things like that still will be a problem.
Yeah.
And it's like you go to self-checkout, thing don't scan. Still need a human for that.
Right.
Like,
right. Yeah, no, and you will, but like what, and that's a little bit different too, right? Like a grocery store is still a little bit different. I'm saying more of like the direct to consumer stuff.
Yeah.
You know, maybe more food industry actually is what I mean. I don't know. Because then also you could make the argument too, like, I'm just trying to think of things off the top of my head here, but like car sales, right? Like eventually, like you might not need car salesmen because everything's automated. You walk in, and again, you'll still have some humans that work at a dealership, but you're not going to have 75 people that work there. You might only have 20. You know, so it's, I don't know. I think it's interesting. There's been a lot of people that talk about it. Elon Musk has talked about it before. Obviously, Andrew Yang is the big guy that talks about it all the time because his big thing is UBI, which is a thing that's going to have to go into place to supplant not having jobs, right? The universal basic income, which I'm not opposed to as long as it makes sense, right? Like I've gone out and said, I might have even been on this show, like if you use universal basic income, like that should replace current like welfare and Medicare. You know what I mean? Like,
get rid of those things.
Remove all of those programs and then replace it with universal basic income. Like it's not a this and, it's a scrap all of that and this is the new thing. But I don't know, like just looking at everything here, man, like I'm just looking and just trying to make a prediction. So I think the automated workforce is coming. I think it's on its way. And I think the push is going to be this, right? Everyone quitting their jobs and no one wants to work a shitty job for not a lot of pay. So I don't know. I'm just an asshole. We'll see. That's going to do it for us. So thank you for watching. If you're on YouTube, make sure you click subscribe, give us a thumbs up, rate and review wherever you're listening. You can check us out on our website. I remember I got a lot of free time. I just redid our whole website. You go to sarcasmspeaks.com. You can get the links to everything we have in there. So you can get us on Spotify. I also just put us on Amazon Music. So we're new over there. Apple, iTunes, all that fun stuff. Wherever you are, make sure you rate, review, subscribe. YouTube, again, all of that. Big thank you to mybookie.com. Use a promo code SarcasmPod to double your first deposit up to $1,000 over there. Again, mybookie.com, promo code SarcasmPod. You can use the same promo code, SarcasmPod, at grillyourassoff.com and get 15% off your entire order every single time you check out. It is not a one-time use, so go to grillyourassoff.com. You can get all the best seasonings, hats, T-shirts, meat thermometers, barbecue sauces. They've got everything you could ever need for any kind of grilling, food prep, and all that stuff. Grillyourassoff.com, promo code SarcasmPod for 15% off your entire order over there. You can get us on Instagram at SarcasmSpeaksPod, on Twitter at Sarcasm_speaks, and on Facebook at Sarcasm Speaks. Again, go to sarcasmspeakspodcast.com or sarcasmspeaks.com. That's our website. It's all up and running. It's great now. It's not. Before we just had a title page that said new website coming soon, and then it never changed. But now it's changed. Now it's all legit. It's all there. It's great. It's awesome. Go check it out. So until next time, good night, everybody.